Hi, I'm Johnny. I'm a Universal Roots Global Artist Ambassador for FENIX360, and I'm blessed to be joined today by the recording artist REALMS. REALMS, how are you, brother? Good to see you.
Perfect love, my brother. I'm fine. I have to say that, I'm good.
Oh, give thanks.
Honored to be here, to
Yeah, that's
share
right.
my journey with ones and ones. Perfect.
Me me too, man. I feel honored to have you with me and to learn all about your journey, iRealms, and how you became a musical artist and your experience and where that all was birthed. But first, I would love to share some of your music. And so the track, which track would you prefer to tune into?
I've got three tracks there. Life is not a game, maybe, or Thank You Almighty High. One of
Oh, I
those
think
two.
those are
I'll leave the
excellent
choice to you.
choices. Yeah. All right. Well, then how about we tune in to Life is Not a Game?
That's
Sound
good.
good?
That's good. That's
Excellent.
good.
All right, everyone. Let's tune in now to iRealms with Life is Not a Game.
Life is not no game to play with. So don't you play no games with mine. The numbers are there for you to work out. And if you add them correctly, you will get an early start. And if you don't, you will delay your own progress and have no chance of making up for those numbers. Oh, life is not no game to play with. So don't you play no games with mine. Every day you're getting older, and time is ticking away. Just like how you can't retrieve your age. It's the same way. You can't retrieve those early numbers. So I blues, reggae blues again. Oh, life is not no game, not no game to play with. So don't you play no games with mine.
Hey, iRealms, beautiful man. Great to share your music and your music video with everyone. Now, can you tell me, where are you from originally, and how did you first discover that music was your passion?
My journey is a mystic one. There's not many out of Jamaica who's tried that journey. I was actually born in England, Birmingham, England,
Uh-huh.
in a mystic way, and I was sent to Jamaica at the age of 2 to my grand aunt. So I grew up in Jamaica over that period of time, and my grand aunt was a member of the Pentecost Church, so that revival sound was in my ears at
Right.
that time. Went back to England at the age of 17, and started to listen to the blues dance that we created in England, and that reggae music what was coming out of Jamaica at the time, was our social circle that we had. But never just enjoying the music, just enjoying the music at that stage. To be honest, um, the rhythm beat was what would catch me more than the lyrics.
Okay.
I would always enjoy a beat, but never remember what they're singing or what is said. And that carried on for years. Um, but then all of that created a journey, a mystic journey. Jamaica, going to England, witnessing what England is like, um, trying to understand myself out of the way I was created on earth. And all of that meant, it made me wanted to ask questions, and sometimes the questions would have been embarrassing for others to answer
Yeah.
because they were probably guilty of creating the situation, And
Yes.
so my music, if I want to cut it short, because it's a book, it's a film, it's a
Yes.
documentary. You see
Yes.
what I'm saying? So we
Yes, I
cut it
do.
short, and we,
Yes.
and we say, you know, because of that interest of wanting to to write about what your journey is, then you find that the writing now becomes, how do I express it?
Yes.
And this is years passing now. I might be in my 40s at the time now, and I'm wondering, how do I express it? And I start to think, maybe I can write and get other artists to sing for me. And
Okay.
at the time I was kind of involved in bringing some artists from Jamaica to England, and on a promotion to perform shows in England. Artists like President Brown, who may live in California right now, as far as I know, a good
Uh-huh.
friend of mine, and others, and that just inspired me, being around artists and thinking I could get them to sing my songs. But
Right.
then I quickly realized that most artists are connected to what they create out of their own journey, so they're not quick to express what came out of you. It doesn't connect so easy,
I see.
and until one said to me, why don't you, sing your own songs, and at that time I didn't even believe I could, but the way I created music, I would listen to a rhythm, maybe off the internet, and the words from my journey would now form itself around that rhythm, and I would tape it. So when I present it to someone, you've got a rhythm, a melody, and words. So
Mhm.
they could hear my words, my melody, because I'm singing, and they say, but you're singing, why don't you present that? You know, and that gave me confidence now, that you really think I could? And that gave me confidence now to do more recording. And at this time I was probably just doing recording in my phone. I've never been in a studio. I'm just singing in my phone, and I'm doing more of that until I understood that there's a format of singing in and recording. At that time, I was singing one long song. I had no punchline, no chorus, no verse, just singing one big fat song, And I realized that I had to, created chorus for them, and verses for them, and depending on how much, whether it wanted to be a 4 bar, or 8 bar, or a 16 bar, you're learning these things, and whatever you have to say, then you break it down and say, okay, I work with 8, stop me from stopping my saying what I'm saying too short, too quickly. I work with the 8 or the 16, and starting to let others to listen to this. And I remember being here, and my gate bell rang, and I went out there, and Donovan
Yeah.
was there
Francis.
visiting,
Uh-huh.
yeah, visiting me, and he came with an elder Rastaman called Profi, you know, and they came and sat down, and I haven't seen these guys for a while, and they said to me, so what's happening? I said, well, we're just passing through, and we know you're here, so we just stopped just to say hello, and they asking me what's going on. I'm saying, boy, it's music. I don't call the music. Then I was on my own creating this thing, and very glad to have a visitor to share that whatever I was doing with. And I remember Donovan saying to me, well, let me hear it. You know, you're speaking a lot, but let me hear what you say, you know.
Right.
And I brought my tape out and let him hear it. And he said to me right there, he says, um, um, you know, all you need is to be produced, you know. And, you know, to be honest, I never really understood what it meant. You know, all you need to be produced. And he left a number with me and says, if you want help, call me. And I called him probably around 3 or 4 weeks after that and saying I would love to, you know,
Ready.
move forward.
Yeah.
And he took it, he didn't hesitate, you know, he placed me with all the right people. How do I make my rhythms together and the studios, and he took me there and to be honest, he took me out of the phone,
Yeah, you know
Donovan.
what? I got to tell you, iRealms, this, your story is so unique in terms of, your blending of kind of the cultures in Jamaica and England and having both the dual experience kind of makes your own personality more dynamic from having been more worldly and dealing with different communities and your journey in music has always been one in which you had enthusiasm for it. You didn't even recognize what raw talent you truly have until you started to, in a way, tinker with some of the new tools, the telephone, and how you were,
Right.
attracted to rhythm, but not necessarily the lyrics, and how this all blended together. Well, I think this story is so interesting to me is because you captivated, in a way, the process for how you were inspired to start developing these creations, which are really polished, professional, amazing work that it to me, in a way, um, is more representative of a long-term body of work that you had already been creating and establishing. But the thing that inspires me most is what you originally were describing as being a mystic. So can you tell me a little bit about what that means and how it relates to your own personal perception of yourself?
Well, you know, mystic, in the sense of how the music was created and how the journey created the mystic. Um, you know, people talk about hard life sometimes, and the struggles you have to go through, you know, and probably don't pay attention of what you've learned from the struggles, the hard life.
Right.
If I didn't go through the struggles, I don't think I would be able to deliver what I'm delivering today because it gave me something to deliver. You see what I'm saying? So these are the mystics of life, you don't want to be there, but it has so much to offer you. You see what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
And
Yeah.
and if you don't understand that, then you will probably try and save your child from going through what you've been through. Not saying you're going to do it exactly the same, but you will probably stopped him from having the same opportunity, from being creative and understanding the real journey, that real spiritual journey that has something to offer you because you've blessed him with everything materialistic, you see.
Yeah.
So those are the mystics of life, I have learned, and would like to and would like to just express it in some way that others who are connected to it can recognize that, we are a flock of a feather, bird of a feather flock together. You're not out there on your own,
Right.
and make that connection so we can now recognize and create something to move forward to. And whatever is to be changed, we change it, we
Yeah.
change things in that order. You know, I will speak about true issues of life, and the reason I speak about them because I believe some of them are hidden agendas. People use them every day and believe no one's seen them using them, you know, and
Right.
and and if you can reveal them, then you can make a wider public know that if these issues have been used on you, please recognize them and don't let them um, take you to a place where you get used or abused, and
Yes.
and and such forth. If I'm coming over clearly, I'm speaking real deep spiritually now, and I'm hoping I'm connecting to, and I
You,
will
you,
connect
you,
the public.
you definitely are, iRealms, to me personally, and I'm sure to our viewers as well. You know, that mystical experience and what you talked about, some of the adversity and the challenges that we're all faced in life, you know, they come out in song and music in really, you know, profound ways. And you're right, you know, that's a blessing too. The challenges actually create the growth. And in the adversity, or you know, so often we are looking for support from the Almighty, from the spiritual water, you know, for which to become quenched, so that we can continue on and persevere through. And the reason why this is important, I think, is because for emerging artists like yourself and others who have discovered this, is that, you know, it's the continual persistence, the long-term journey, is the vision shouldn't just be about material wealth. It should be about displaying your art, and then there it becomes magnetic. So at any rate, I appreciate all of that very much. Now, as far as Life Is Not a Game, that track, you know, what is kind of the inspiration behind it, or what do you feel like is the message that is intending to support the title, Life Is Not a Game?
Well, all right, there you are. Life is not a game. It's a whole journey of information which you pick out a few to make the song. You know, it's just so big. You
Yeah.
know, so if you imagine yourself unheard from, you recognize yourself as a youngster up until this time, you would have been through several things where you may find that you waste a lot of time and you didn't realize that you're wasting time, you know, or someone's wasting your time and you're giving it to that person and you're not realizing. And so you may end up in that situation for 10, 15 years. Now, what happened? You're 15 years older, you see, and all that opportunity, if you did just focus, you would have gained something over that 15 years. But you will never get that 15 years back. You can only start from where you are to move forward, and hoping you can achieve something within that time. But you definitely won't get that 15 years back. And that is what I'm saying. Focus, you know, gain that consciousness of yourself from early, you
Yeah.
see, and don't let others drift you away from your focus. If you know, gain it and don't let no one take you away from it. Because if you do, you will just get old and you will waste yourself away. So I use it, I say numbers. And what is numbers? You know, from the day you're born, your numbers is attached to you. You know, you're 1 month old, you're 1 day old, you're 3 days, and you go up. But at some stage, you becomes you're aware of yourself within that space of numbers. You know, so I'm saying if you had them correctly, you will get an early start. You see
Yeah.
what I'm
That's
saying?
that
And if you don't, you will what?
waste.
Delay your own progress. You see?
Yeah.
So it's my spiritual way of expressing something which I believe are hidden agendas. You know, it's there for it's affecting everybody, but no, it's hidden and people pretend that it's not there or overlook it, and then it becomes an effect, you know. You know, some people in relationships, you're in a relationship for its sake, and you can see that that person are not the equal yoke with you, and you stay there and you stay there and you stay there for whatever. But 15 years after you just decided to divorce, you may have 4 children in that relationship, and those 4 children may look at you to say, well, you wasn't a good to my mom, so you may not have a good relationship with the 4 kids, and all of that can be a a negative spin, which will affect you for the rest of your life. Something you didn't want to happen, but it did. You see, because you won't focus in on everything which is around you. You spend time just flowing, and whether may happen because you have to learn something from it. It doesn't stop me from making you know that's what's happening.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And be aware of it, because it can be detrimental, you know. So I mean, that is just one little aspect of the thing, but it goes wide. It's a wide thing, you know. It could be you're in a job and you don't like the job, but you stay there because of the money. And it could be anything, you know. Different
Sure.
people will pick the sense of it in their own space, depending, you know. There's a
I
part there.
appreciate it. Rams, I appreciate it because it's encouragement, and what you're offering is a slice of wisdom that oftentimes a young person doesn't have that depth yet. And so, you know, to me, it's guidance. And so that's why I think it's beautiful, you know, the music. And I'm glad we had a chance to share it. I'm sure it's going to be raising some frequency and inspiring, you know, in someone's heart and mind, you know, to be cautious and also to value themselves to the extent in which, you know, they don't distract from the gifts they have to give. So let me ask you now, you have a track that's new, and what is your current focus? What are you working on now?
Well, I have a track which is has been released on the 30th of December, called "Are You a Coward?" You
Are
know,
you a coward? Uh-huh.
"Are We a Coward?" Yes, and that's from an album of 7 songs. Um, so the album will be released. It's already uploaded, but will be available for the 30th of March. For the 30th of March.
Okay,
So
cool.
but that includes "Life Is Not a Game," "Thank You Almighty High," and now "Are You a Coward?" will be also on the album. So there is some new ones there for ones to hear as well of Irons.
All right.
And that is what I'm working on now, in the sense of promoting it and getting it, trying to get it to places that, you know, the hears will hear it, and as much of that is important to me, because as a messenger, if you don't deliver if no one hear it, it means that you haven't delivered the message, you know. I don't want to be that that angel who hasn't delivered this message, you know. So I appreciate the platform, and the ones who will listen and extend it from themselves to others, so it will reach to where it needs to reach, and that's what I'm working on.
That's beautiful, iRealms. Now let me ask this question, you know, as far as that ability for people to expand it out there, how can they reach you on in the digital world and the social realms? Where are you located, your music and your content?
Well, to reach me personally, as IREMS, I am on the Facebook page.
Do you have Facebook?
Um,
Yeah.
I got a Facebook page, even though it's on there as Sean Lewis Francis. That's my birth name. You
Okay.
know, I do have I'm on Instagram, IREMS Music. You know, what other social space do I have? Facebook and Instagram as right
Well, what
now.
I'll do, iRealms, is that below our interview today, I'll post those links so that people can, after they see us, you know, can actually go directly to your content. And then and
Yeah.
also
Um,
your content is also up on YouTube too. So we'll
yes, I was
offer
just
those
going to mention that it's
yeah,
got a YouTube.
we'll offer those links as well. And then listen, man, we are looking forward to you being on the FENIX360 app too, so that you can have an artist profile there and that fans can connect with you on the app, as well as the potential of other artists and people in the industry that might be interested in using you for events, and they'll have the ability to contact you there. So we really appreciate connecting with you and just learning a glimpse about your mystical experience, your journey in music, some of the gifts that you're now offering. I'm so glad you truly are a messenger, and some of that mature wisdom that you've earned, that you so freely and generously offer through your music, is going to make tremendous impacts of healing and empowerment. So thanks for that, iRealms. Really appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you on the platform too, man. And anytime you want to talk to me, I'm available. One
Cool,
perfect.
brother. We're going to follow your progress. All right, everybody. I want you to tune in to the social media links you find below for iRealms and look for his rise on FENIX360. And brother, blessings and respect. Thank you, man.
One perfect.
Cheers.
All angels stand predominant in the duty of the Almighty. Roll call in the hierarchical order. Are you a part of this meditation? Are you a coward? REALMS chant again. Are you a part of this vibration? Are you a coward? Hey, with your limited words, as a prophet I chant. Don't want to displease your fans, but if you do, remember, they're not yours. Speak the truth and you will find them. Hey, by revealing your consciousness and stop hiding behind financial gain. So I say, are you a part of this meditation? Are you a coward? REALMS chant again. Are you a part of this meditation? Are you a coward? Hey, keep the message in the music, hiding amongst hiding behind I say. Think I never see you when you duck and dive. Leave home with words of wisdom. Now your students are teaching you. What they've taught you has no value in this high state of the Almighty. High state of the Almighty high.